But so I posted a light code a few days ago about a kraken, and a couple of you reached out, and I'll share those on my story on Instagram specifically. If you're not on my Instagram, make sure you hop over there, because that's where I share the most content, especially day-to-day life type content. So I shared a kraken light code, and some people resonated with it, felt like it was looking into their soul, I think was one of the comments. And the thing is, they exist. So the megafauna, as my guides would call them, exist. I was in breathwork, and they were like, yeah, talk about it, but make sure people aren't afraid of it. They're not to be feared. This whole idea that these beings are meant to be feared, it's like, so the image they're giving me, it's like ants could fear us because we're so big. But really, if you live at a higher not necessarily a higher vibration, I don't like to use the word higher, but that's what a lot of people would say. If you live at a higher vibration, meaning a different dimensional state of vibration, and work from your heart space, that's the other thing, and work from your heart space, have that loving heart space, you're not to be feared. You're not to be, worried about, I guess. The ants don't need to fear us. Now, as humans, most humans don't work from a loving heart space, so the insects and stuff fear them because humans fear them, and humans are, going around killing thousands of them every day, millions, billions probably every day. And so, from a standpoint of larger beings, humans often fear larger beings because they go, well, look at what we do to smaller beings. But that's not the case. Most of these beings aren't going to do those types of things. They're large, they're considered megafauna when my guys talk about them. They don't use the word like sea. We talk about sea monsters and that just to resonate with people, but usually the words they use are megafauna. Like, these are creatures who actually exist, mega, in size. And so you have krakens, you have hydras, you have sea serpents, you have sea dragons, you have giant squids that they don't even, it was funny when I was a kid, they used to say the giant squid was a myth, didn't exist, back in the 90s. They finally filmed one in early 2000s and went, oh my god, it exists. That was a small one. I don't think they've actually filmed a truly mega giant squid. And some of these other beings, kraken type thing exists. It's the way I see it. So you have those movies out there that have all kinds of different depictions. It's very octopus-like. I learned too that, for those that don't know, octopi is not a legitimate plurality of octopus. So octopuses is the plural, and I just don't even like saying that word. It feels weird. But so it looks like a giant octopus when I talk to, and they show me in my mind. And I am on the beach, so there's trucks and people around if you see that. But obviously I'm on the beach, you can see it in the background. I'm at Myrtle Beach right now. It looks like a regular beach, just really touristy and much busier than others, I guess. So these sea creatures exist. I haven't physically seen one. I've seen them in my meditations. My guides have shown me. I've talked to some of them. I have stood over a mega creature, volcanic creature on an old crater that was waking. And when it comes to the sea, they're waking up. They're protectors. They're dimensional protectors, vibrational protectors, whatever you want to call them, where they wake up when the sea needs to create and destroy. So a lot of these megafauna are their purpose in reality is to destroy. Now, a lot of people would have fear around that, but remember, nothing is created without destruction. You have to have destruction to have creation. And essentially what's happened is humans have destroyed the ocean. Like, we've done a huge number on the ocean, and so these beings are coming back to shift the healing of the ocean, the shorelines, all that stuff. And what they've told me is, which is very interesting, is that a lot of it's going to look like natural phenomenon to people, but those who are awake are going to look out their window and see a giant creature, and those who are unawake are just going to think there's like high winds, because they're not going to be able to see it, because they don't resonate at that frequency. They can't see that frequency. So there are going to be people who start waking up and seeing these creatures on the shorelines in the oceans, because they can see that vibrational frequency, whether third eye, physical eye, that sort of thing. And then there are going to be others who look at it and just see weather phenomenon or nothing there, like if it's just standing there type of thing. And so a lot of it's like those old tales of the sailors and stuff in the bars that get told, oh, you're crazy for seeing a mermaid, you're crazy for seeing a sea serpent or whatever. A lot of that stuff's real. It's just been kept from us. And there are other creatures out there. There are things, prehistoric creatures that still exist. There are creatures, enormous creatures that are guardians inside the ocean. There are tunnels underneath the ocean. There are also tunnels underneath the ground. That's a pretty well-known, well-documented thing that we didn't build. And there are these megafauna creatures guarding some of these places. There's a giant salamander near the Mediterranean, I've heard, and I've talked to that one. I've talked to others like it too, giant lizard creatures. I just call them giant salamanders. And when I say giant salamanders, I mean, like, think of us looking up at a 15-story building type of thing. And then there are the others. So I think Hawaii has eels underneath of it, and two enormous eels. I've never talked to them or seen them, but I've heard other people say they have. There are different megafauna creatures that exist that we're just not aware of, because we're not allowed to be told about them. I mean, imagine the amount of fear people would have in those spaces. So again, I want to make sure that if you're watching this video, don't fear the ocean. Don't be afraid to walk in and embrace it and hold a loving heart space for it, because honestly, those creatures can see your vibration, they can see your heart space. And that's the other factor, is that with all of this stuff going on that's going to shift over the coming years, they have said they are vibrationally, I don't know what the right word is, but to describe it, when they show them, they're like, this space is vibrationally high and these people are vibrationally high, and so the chaos goes over to the people who are not in that loving heart space. And if you're watching this, you probably don't have to worry about anything, is the point, because you're on that journey. If you're the people who aren't watching this, who are just repeating the same patterns of pollution, of destruction, of chaos, of low vibrational activities, that's where the healing needs to occur. And the healing needs to occur either by them making a choice, or them exiting the planet to go somewhere else to, live through their karmic cycles on another world, which is what's happening with a lot of different things going on, that people are exiting and moving off to other worlds because their soul vibration literally can't handle it here anymore. The more we raise the vibration, the more those who choose not to raise vibration are going to have to shift to other places, because they have to be in a space where they can handle the vibration and learn their karma, so they can grow and heal and basically do what we're doing. So don't have any fear about it, but understand the megafauna do exist. They exist on land too, in different vibrational places. Amazon jungle is one that comes to mind. And they're out there. So if you see them, if you feel them, if you look at that kraken image and you feel it, that's why, because it's actually a real thing. So love you all. Thank you for watching.